Dear students, welcome back. Now we are going to see accessory muscles during ventilation. We have already finished the primary muscles of ventilation. Now we are going to see accessory muscles during ventilation. So the muscles attached to the rib cage, to the shoulder girdle, this is the shoulder girdle, and muscles attached to the head, and posteriorly muscles attached to the vertebral column, and muscles attached to the pelvis, are classified as accessory muscles of ventilation. So muscles attach the rib cage. To the shoulder girdle, head, posteriorly vertebral column, and the pelvis. So all these muscles are called as accessory muscles during ventilation. These muscles assist with inspiration or expiration in situations of stress, such as increased activity or in disease. So now we will see how these muscles are going to work. So when thorax is stabilized, normally thorax will move during quiet respiration and all. So that thing is not, that movements are not enough to produce sufficient ventilation. So for that reason, this accessory muscles are recruited along with the primary muscles to get required ventilation. So when thorax is stabilized, so the accessory muscles of ventilation move. The vertebral column. So the muscles attached to the vertebral column will move the vertebral column and arm, as well as the head and pelvis on the trunk. So thorax stabilize అయిపోయింది అనుకోండి. థొరాక్స్ during bucket handle movement or in pump handle movement, what is happening? AP diameter in pump handle and transverse diameter in the bucket handle movement is increased. So such kind of increase in diameter is not taking place when thorax is stabilized. So now what happens? The accessory muscles which are attached to the rib cage will do such kind of function to increase the ventilation. What are those muscles which help in such kind of movement? Or accessory muscles. What are accessory muscles? Accessory muscles that attach the rib cage, so to the shoulder girdle, head, vertebral column, or pelvis. So now we will see, during the times of increased ventilatory demand, during times of increased ventilatory demand. So when this ventilation is increased, so in increased activity, or such as in stress, increased activity, or disease, in some kind of obstructive pulmonary diseases, so where the demand of ventilation is increased. So definitely if thorax is stabilized, then the diameters will not increase. So then what happened? The rib cage has to become the mobile segment, how it becomes mobile? By the action of accessory muscles, so these accessory muscles are divided into accessory muscles of inspiration, and accessory muscles of expiration. So, due to increased ventilatory demand, the rib cage can become the mobile segment by the action of accessory muscles of inspiration as well as the expiratory muscles. So, what will do this accessory muscles of inspiration? This accessory muscles of inspiration increases the thoracic diameter. It increases the thoracic diameter by moving the rib cage upward and outward. So this is called pump handle movement. We have seen. So pump handle movement. So this one is moving upward and outward like this. So upward and outward. So the accessory muscles of inspiration helps in the movement of rib cage upward and outward. So upward and outward movement is nothing but what? Pump handle movement in the upper rib cage, isn't it? What happens if it move like this? So this AP diameter of the thorax increases. Next, what does this accessory muscles of expiration do? These accessory muscles of expiration move the diaphragm. So accessory muscles of the expiration move the diaphragm upwards. So like this. That is, again it return to its dome shape, move the upwards. Then what happened to the thorax? Already during inspiration it moves on the lateral side like this, and outward, isn't it? Lateral and outward. So when it returned back to its normal position, the diaphragm, so this outward movement comes inward, and this upward movement also comes to downwards. Okay, so then it becomes, the rib cage comes to its normal position when the diaphragm is in dome position. Okay, so the accessory muscles of expiration will do like this: move the diaphragm upwards. That means during inspiration the diaphragm almost become flat. It is present like this, isn't it? So it is present like this during inspiration. So during expiration what will happen? The diaphragm will move. So the dome again appears here. Once this dome appears, what will happen? Again this zone of opposition is maintained by pulling the lower rib cage, downwards and inwards. So such kind of movement is done by the accessory muscles of expiration. Okay, now we will see there are different kinds of accessory muscles are present. So now we will see one by one. The first one is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. First one is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So here this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle is present. So this muscle runs from the manubrium. So run from the manubrium and superior medial aspect of the clavicle, superior and medial aspect of the clavicle to the mastoid process of the temporal bone, This is the location of this sternocleidomastoid. So distal it is attached to the manubrium, proximally it is attached to the mastoid process of the temporal bone. What is its normal function? So sternocleidomastoid is present on both the sides. Sternocleidomastoid muscle is present on both the sides. So normal function of the sternocleidomastoid. So bilateral action of the sternocleidomastoid causes flexion of the cervical spine, Okay. Now, how it is going to help in this ventilation? So, with the help of trapezius, so we know that the trapezius muscle, which is present on the posterior aspect, isn't it? Yes, with the help of the trapezius muscle, it stabilizes the head. And the bilateral contraction of the sternocleidomastoid muscle can pull the rib cage superiorly, expanding the upper rib cage in the pump handle motion, and helps in the expanding the upper rib cage in the pump handle motion. సో ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, మానుబ్రియంకి అటాచ్ అయింది కదా, ఎప్పుడైతే దీస్ టూ మజిల్స్ ఆర్ బైలేటరలీ కంట్రాక్టింగ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ పుల్లింగ్ దిస్ మానుబ్రియం. సో ఆల్రెడీ ద మానుబ్రియం ఈస్ మేకింగ్ అన్ యాంగిల్ విత్ ద స్టర్నమ్, isn't it? Pulling the manubrium, what will happen? So it is moving superiorly and causing the body of the sternum anteriorly. So such kind of movement is seen in pump handle motion. So, and also this will be seen only in the upper rib cage. సో నార్మల్ ఫంక్షన్ అయితే ఏంటి, సర్వైకల్ ఫ్లెక్షన్కి హెల్ప్ చేస్తుంది. కానీ వెంటిలేషన్కి యూస్ చేయాలి అంటే ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ సమ్ హెల్ప్ ఫ్రమ్ ద ట్రపీజియస్. విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ ట్రపీజియస్ ఇట్ స్టెబిలైజెస్ ద హెడ్, నాట్ మూవింగ్ ద హెడ్, which causes the cervical flexion. So with the help of trapezius, it stabilizes the head and helps in the ventilation by contracting bilateral contraction of these two muscles, causing the manubrium moving upwards, and that is called superiorly, and expanding the upper rib cage in the pump handle movement. Simply we can say these muscles can pull the rib cage superiorly and expanding the upper rib cage. So this is the function of sternocleidomastoid muscle. So normally these muscles are recruited at the end of maximal inspiration. The recruitment of this muscle occurs towards the end of the maximal inspiration. These muscles are going to work. Okay, so this is about the sternocleidomastoid. And the next muscle is the pectoralis major. So you can see here, this is the big muscle, pectoralis major muscle. So this pectoralis major is having two portions. One is the sternocostal portion. So this one is the sternocostal sternocostal portion. These are the sternocostal portion, and here you can see the clavicular portion. Below the clavicle you can see this clavicular portion. So these two portions is having two different kinds of functions. Okay, sternocostal portion of the pectoralis major helps in inspiration, whereas the clavicular portion of the pectoralis major is having both function, that is inspiration as well as expiration, based upon the position of the arms. Based upon the position of the arms. Okay, now we will see this pectoralis major sternocostal portion. Sternocostal portion. The sternocostal portion of the pectoralis major. Okay, so this is this muscle, and this is going to insert in the bicipital groove, isn't it? So which helps in the elevation, of the upper rib cage. Elevation, when it occurs, elevation during inspiration only. So it helps in the elevation of the upper rib cage when the humerus, here the shoulders, and the humerus are stabilized. If these two things are stabilized, so these muscles will help in the elevation of the upper rib cage. So it is mainly accessory muscle of inspiration. Pectoralis major, that too sternocostal portion of pectoralis major helps in inspiration. Okay, next another one is the clavicular head of the pectoralis major. Clavicular head of the pectoralis major. So it can be both expiratory as well as inspiratory. These muscles are both expiratory as well as inspiratory. Okay, so based upon the position of the upper extremities. So when the arms are here, we can see the arms are positioned so that the humeral attachment of the pectoralis major, is below the level of clavicle. Then this portion acts as expiratory muscle. By pulling the manubrium and upper ribs downward. In inspiration, what will happen? It will move up and outward, isn't it? So this clavicular portion acts as an expiratory muscle when the humeral attachment of the clavicular portion is below the level of clavicle. So how it works? By pulling the manubrium and upper ribs downward. So if the humeral attachment of the pectoralis major is above the level of clavicle, normally it occurs when we raise your arms. So overhead abduction, we can call it as overhead abduction. So fully raised arm, so we can lift the arms. So what will happen? So the humerus will move up to here. So then the clavicular attachment is present at this level. That means above the level of clavicle, what is happening? So it helps in inspiration. Okay, how it works here? By pulling the manubrium and upper ribs, by pulling the manubrium and upper ribs upwards and outwards, like in pump handle movement. So what happened, it helps in pulling the manubrium upwards and also the upper ribs upwards and outwards, which increases the AP diameter. So that will take place in the inspiration. Such kind of increase in diameter takes place in inspiration in the upper rib cage. Okay, this is about the pectoralis major. So in the pectoralis major, the sternocostal portion of pectoralis major is purely inspiratory, whereas the clavicular portion of the pectoralis major can be both expiratory as well as inspiratory based upon the position of the upper extremity. Okay, so next muscle, that is the pectoralis minor muscle. Here you can see the pectoralis minor muscle. Yes, this is the pectoralis minor muscle. So this pectoralis minor muscle helps in the elevation of third, fourth and fifth ribs. You can see this is the first rib, second rib, third rib. So from third to fifth rib helps in the elevation. It can help in the elevation of third, fourth and fifth ribs during inspiration. Okay, so this is again the pectoralis minor is also help in inspiration. Now coming to the subclavius muscle, here you can see the subclavius. So it is present below the clavicle. This is the subclavius muscle. So it is a muscle present between the clavicle and the first rib. This can also assist in raising the upper chest. This muscle is also helps in raising the upper chest for inspiration. So what do you mean raising upward and outward movement? The subclavius also assist in raising the upper chest for inspiration. So subclavius is also an accessory muscle of inspiration. Now coming to the levatorus costorum, I have explained this levatorus costorum in detail in the previous session. So here we have to consider this one as accessory muscle, which helps in elevation of ribs. So normally it is a primary ventilatory muscle, but also this levatorus costorum will work along with the accessory muscles. So sometimes this levatorus costorum is also considered as accessory muscle, but it is a primary ventilatory muscle. Next, another muscles are the serratus posterior superior and serratus posterior inferior. These two muscles are present on the back side, which are attached to the vertebral column, and these two muscles have been assumed to be the accessory muscles of ventilation based upon its anatomical origins and insertions. But till date there is no evidence like EMG evidence also not there whether these muscles are supporting in ventilation. So these may not be considered to have a respiratory function, but because of their anatomical origins and insertions, previously they have assumed that these two muscles are also helps in ventilation. So these two muscles are present on the posterior aspect, that is serratus posterior superior and serratus posterior inferior, which is attached to the vertebral column. And the next muscle or the abdominal muscles, very very important muscles. So here you can see the abdominal muscles. So the abdominal muscles are, you people know well, one is the transverse abdominis. So that one we can't see here, transverse abdominis. Here you can see the rectus abdominis and external oblique abdominals and internal oblique abdominals. This transverse abdominals is deeply placed abdominal muscle. Okay, and these muscles are attached to the thorax and to the pelvis here. So the major function of these abdominal muscles is to assist with forced expiration. Keep it in mind, it helps in forced expiration. Okay, what happens during forced expiration? During forced expiration, the abdominal muscle fibers, these are the abdominal muscle fibers, pull the ribs. So it helps in expiration, I have told. So that means already the rib cage is in inspiratory state. What is happening? By the pulling of these abdominal muscles, what happened? It pulls the ribs and the costocartilages caudally. That means downward. So already it is present. The lower rib cage is almost in towards upward movement or laterally outward, appears to be in cephalic way of cephalic way of moving of rib cage is taking place during inspiration. So when the action of these muscles pulls the ribs and costocartilages, here you can have the costocartilages, pull these two things caudally during exhalation. So what will happen? So again the dome is formed here. So that means the rib cage again comes to its normal position. Okay, so by increasing the intra-abdominal pressure, so what will happen during inspiration? By increasing the intra-abdominal pressure, the abdominal muscles can force the diaphragm upward. So normally we know that intra-abdominal pressure is increased in inspiration, but it is forced expiration. That means here the abdominal muscles are contracting here. The abdominal muscles can force the diaphragm upward into the thoracic cage. సో మామూలు కిందకు వచ్చేస్తుంది. దాన్ని ఏం చేస్తుంది? దిస్ అబ్డామినల్ మజిల్స్ ఆర్ forced to move this diaphragm upward into thoracic cage, which increasing both the volume and speed of exhalation. So exhalation ki use అవుతుంది అన్నమాట. So by this abdominal contraction. So during forced expiration, this abdominal muscle fibers pull the ribs and costocartilages caudally during exhalation. Okay, and the remaining part of the functions of these accessory muscles we will see in the next video. Okay, thank you.